Hello, my happy Scrappy friends. It is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am coming at you with the Confessions of a Paper Addict design team layout. So I have started off my page by actually creating my own cut file using 2 of the cut files from the Etsy shop. So I have used the portraits cut file, which are those super cute frames. There are 4 of those frames that comes in this cut file. And I've also used the cut file called cut and paste. Now, the way the cut and paste cut file was originally designed were those awesome scissors, and in between the scissors was a paintbrush. Now, that didn't suit the layout that I was creating. I didn't want scissors, paintbrush, scissors, paintbrush. I wanted scissors, frame, scissors, frame. So, of course, me being the ever adapting person that I am, I jumped into my Silhouette Studio design studio program on my computer, and I actually combined those 2 elements together to create one cut file. And so I put the scissors and melded those in with the frames and created 2 little borders that could go down the sides of each of my page. And they are going to be perfect for this hairdressing, haircut layout that I'm creating of my boys. So I just love the way you can take a cut file and just adapt it to suit your needs as you like, especially if you are someone that does like to have a play in the Silhouette design studio, or if you're not that kind of person, there is almost 800, not over, there's over 750. There is almost 800 cut files over in the store, with more and more being released at the start of every single month. So you will definitely be able to find something that suits your needs over there. So here we go, putting my beautiful cut files back together again. And I am going to be, as I said, using these as kind of like a border down the side of my page. But I really wanted them to take the limelight. The orange paper was the perfect color choice, but it was kind of overpowering what was happening on the page. So I ended up softening all that down by adding some gesso and just rubbing that gesso in with my paintbrush. And you can see that I've really carefully placed the gesso around where the photos are going to be and around where the border cut file is going to be, just so that the rest can still pop from the page on that gorgeous burnt orange coloring. I am going to add a little bit of splatters in the background. This is using Delusional's Shimmer Spray. Gosh, where are my words today? This first one is in white linen. And then the second one I'm using is a teal. I can't remember the exact name, but it is to die for. I just adore this color. It is my favorite at the moment. Actually, these Delusional Shimmer Sprays in general are my favorite at the moment. They are so nice. So I'm just going to splatter those on because I just felt it needed a little bit of something to pop in the background to go along with my beautiful cut files. So I'm going to pop those cut files up on foam. So I've pre-foamed them all up ready to go. And then I'm going to pop those down on each side of the page with a picture of each of my boys on either side. You probably saw me having a play before with that Snips and Snaps and Puppy Dog's Tails little quote there. I just felt like there was something missing from the middle of the page. It just looked a little random, especially with the way that I'd put the gesso on to leave the middle empty. So I did decide to put that Snips and Snails and Puppy Dog's Tails on in there, but I won't do a title. It's just going to all speak for itself, having done like what you can see here. I will, of course, add some journaling later to help tell the story, but in general, this is how it's going to look. I was umming and ahhing about this second one. I actually end up putting it on upside down, and you can see that the heart is upside down. I'm just going to roll with it because I think it fits better on my page. So on goes the Snips and Snails and Puppy Dog's Tails. That's what little boys are made of. And then I'm going to start lining up my ephemera. And I absolutely love this collection. This is such a cute collection from Echo Park. Simple Stories. From Simple Stories. I have quite a bit of it, but I really love it. I've got all the things, and I'm definitely going to layer it all on. Some chipboard, some stickers, some ephemera. It's all just going to make it, even some fussy cut pieces off the pattern papers. everything is going to get onto this layout today because I feel like that's, why not? My favorite part was putting something in each of the little frames. I really loved having something pop out of the frames. I thought that was so cute. And I kind of matched the backing paper with some of them, not with all of them, but where I've just stuck the shark now, that was the kind of backing paper I actually had on there. I had a shark on there, which I thought was super cool. Boy's the best. And then a little cloud. And I just adore how this all came together. This was just the perfect cut file to match in with what's happening in my layout. And I really just have a plate, just layering everything up. I really focus my ephemera either down the sides on top of the cut file or just surrounding the title there with the Snips and Snails and Puppy Dog's Tails. That's what little boys are made of. And it all comes together really, really nicely. The purpose of this photo was obviously the kids are getting a haircut, but this is the first time that Tom has sat in the big boy haircutting chair essentially by himself, not needing to be on our lap, not being distressed or anything. Like, he was actually, as you can see from his face, super excited to be getting his haircut and just tickled pink that he was a big grown-up boy. He's since had another haircut since these photos have been taken, and he even let them use the electric clippers. So he is all over it now, and just loves being a big boy. So I decided I needed a little something down the side of the photo. So I'm just going to layer up a whole bunch of scrap paper, leftover bits and bobs, just to add some colour and some, like a little pop of pattern, and just tie in all the other ephemera and pattern pieces that are happening around the page. So the right-hand side is essentially done. So now it's time to move over to the left-hand side and work on Jack's side of the layout. I did have a racing car piece of ephemera, but I really wanted to save that for a racing car layout that I know I've got coming up. So instead I just put the bike on there and still use the That's How We Roll sort of speech mark because I feel like that still works with the bike. Then I fussy cut that little superhero out and covered him. He was already in the frame, so just stuck him on top of exactly where he was in the frame, so he's popping out. And then, of course, some clouds because superheroes fly up into the sky. And then I put some clouds on the right-hand side, so I'm just adding some more clouds on the left because everywhere's a little bit cloudy. Then there's a cute little sentiment about brothers in that orange circle or red circle, which was just super cute because they're both getting their haircuts together. And Jack is actually looking down at his brother, checking out his brother, watching what his brother's up to and that his brother's going okay, just the seat or two down from him. So I just thought that was super cute. And again, I'm going to layer up this side over here using a few bits of ephemera, using some scrap paper, just all the bits and bobs, just to help tie in all those patterns and all those colours that are already part of this layout. And once this last little cluster is done, then this layout is complete because, as I said, I'm not going to put on a thicker title. I'm just going to leave that Snips and Snails and Puppy Dog's Tails to do all the work. I will add some journaling later on at some point. The journaling will have to go either next to Jack's photo or next to Tom's photo. There's nowhere else really for it to sit. But I'll decide that once I have printed it and I see how much I end up writing to tell this story. I tend to make a big pile of layouts and then add the journaling later. I'm a little bit lazy with my journaling, I will admit. And that's the nature of not handwriting it on as I go. But here we are coming to a close. That little red piece of scrap paper is a little bit too tall, so I'm just going to trim that down. And then we are done. So I will have some close-up photos for you so you can really get the feel of how amazing this layout came together. And I hope I have inspired you to have a little play with your cut files as well. There's just such amazing things over in the Etsy shop. It's definitely worth checking out. So make sure you hit the description box down below. I'll have a link to these 2 cut files that I used to create this one. I will have a link to the Etsy shop in general so you can check out all 800-ish of those cut files. And I'll also have a link to the Facebook group because I definitely recommend popping in there There's inspiration shared on a daily basis. There are free cut files that come out at the start of every month, and it is definitely the place to be for all things scrapbooking and paper crafting. So thank you so much, everyone. I have loved having you here with me again this month, and I will see you next time.